Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video, and I can tell you everything you need to know within these 5 minutes. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I have been doing this for over 50 years, and I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff. Why I make the videos are 3 reasons. There's a lot of garbage on YouTube about people coming along with slick salesmen and telling you what they can do, especially in the debt settlement industry, which is kind of a joke. Oh boy, so many people have been ripped off. I like to be informative to show you from an insider perspective what IRS really thinks and what IRS really does. And lastly, I like to educate you so you can make decisions on who you want to hire, who you don't want to hire, and things to look for. So today I want to talk to you. Oh, by the way, you can find me in the description section below. Today I want to talk to you about you're going into an IRS audit and you don't have all your receipts. What do you do? That's really common. If you are going in an audit or you don't have receipts, I don't really recommend you going in by yourself. This isn't a self-promotional video on my part to say, retain us, retain us. If it's a small audit, you should go in by yourself. If it's a large audit, you do. One of the reasons you want to do that is you don't want the audit to expand. IRS can simply ask for 1 year, and when they go into your audit, they can ask for other years, and all of a sudden, you got a 3-year audit really going from there. And you don't want to do that. On staff, we have former IRS agents who worked in the audit division, revenue agents, and in the appellate division. But if you are going to do this yourself, you can go ahead and reconstruct your expenses that you don't have. I've never met anyone who's ever hired me that's had all their expenses, and probably you don't either, or you're not going to be listening to this video. So what you can do is you can simply do a reconstruction. Let's say you're a painting contractor, for instance, and you don't have everything. Well, if you could give a list of jobs and get some invoices where you bought your materials. You evidently had cost driving back and forth, brushes, you had paint, so you can kind of reconstruct those and say, IRS, here's 5 jobs that I do not have my information for, but based on similar circumstances, here are the costs that I would have incurred doing that job. IRS is going to accept those. If not, you go to appeals. Your auditor you're working with is certainly not your last chance to go ahead and settle the audit. So you do that through a means of reconstruction. The receipts that you don't have, you got to figure out, well, what would I got a little cold, that's why I'm like doing this. You got to just simply try to say where you were, what you, any job at all can do reconstruction, anybody. You just simply know, here's my job, this is about the cost, and you list the supplies and what it would have taken to get that done. Generally, you're going to make about 20% on every job, or 30%. So you had 70% cost. If you have to, go ahead, go back to the vendors and find out what that information was. IRS knows you have expenses. Do not be bullied by the agent saying, well, we can't give you that because you don't have that. Reconstruct that, ask to speak to his manager, and take it to appeals, because if you did it for one job, you had to use the same expenses on another job. Don't be Billy, kick some ass. If you need us, we're around. So it's very common, once again, not to have all your documentation. Very, very common. Anyway, thank you very much. If this information was helpful, leave me a subscription. I love subscriptions because YouTube thinks, or they know I'm doing better than anyone else. I have about 3,500 subscribers. That's probably why you found me. Anyway, thank you very much. Leave me a comment. I love comments. If you want me to make a YouTube on something, I'll probably do that. I don't never run out of ideas, but I want to hear what you have to say. Remember, you can reconstruct if you don't have receipts. Not everyone have all the receipts. Just make it believable and reasonable. And if you have to, go to the vendors you use and pull up the documentation. Thank you.